Hello?
Yes, Miss Jolie.
Yeah, New York Times?
Yes.
You better write that story about Brad Pitt doing that stuff to me and the kids in 2016, okay?
Okay.
Put it out
Is this
right
about
now.
Emily Ratajkowski?
No. This has absolutely
Okay.
nothing to do with Emily
Yes.
Ratajkowski, okay?
Yes,
It has nothing to do with her. I
Yes.
don't fucking care. I don't care about her. I don't even think about her. I don't even think about them
okay.
two
Yes,
together. I don't
you
even
can
know what's
calm
going
down.
on with them two. I don't care.
Okay, we
Just
will write
make
it.
sure
Yes.
you
No,
write
we'll
the
get
goddamn
right on it.
story.
We'll get right. Okay, thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for clicking the little bell. Welcome to another episode of What's Going On? What's going on? Yeah. Now, this right here, we have to start the video off by prefacing with the fact this is old. It's not new. It happened in with their divorce. Like, this is new, old news, but for some reason, she wanted this to come out again and write a new story from the New York Times again. I think I know why. I think I know why Angelina wanted this to come out again. Because there has been some stories of Brad Pitt dating and, getting some work in with a model. So I think someone's angry about that. Hey, man, can you blame her? See, and that's the thing. I know a lot of people want to pretend this whole thing like Angelina Jolie is like, oh, she's all classy and she's nice. You don't know. Nobody knows what these people are like behind closed doors. For all we know, that woman could be crazy jealous. And just the fact that she saw the stories about Brad and Emily Ratajkowski or what people have been telling me that I keep changing the pronunciation of her name. I don't know. Is it Ratajkowski? Whatever. I'm just going to say it. Ratajkowski, whichever it is. But still, we don't know. We don't know that Angelina's not like, oh, that motherfucker. I can't believe he's dating. Oh, God damn it. Like, dude. She probably is. Okay, from the New York Times, Angelina Jolie details abuse allegations against Brad Pitt in countersuit. In court papers related to a legal battle over the French winery they once owned together, she claims that he was abusive to her and their children during a 2016 plane ride. Angelina Jolie filed a cross-complaint against her ex-husband Brad Pitt on Tuesday, disclosing new details about what she described in court papers as abusive behavior by him on a private plane in 2016 that led to the dissolution of their marriage. In a court filing in LA filed as part of a legal battle over a winery the prominent Hollywood actors once owned together, lawyers for Miss Jolie stated that the negotiations to sell her share of the business to Mr. Pitt had broken down over his demand that she sign a non-disclosure agreement that would have contractually prohibited her from speaking outside of court about Pitt's physical and emotional abuse of her and their children. Okay, and this is turning into another he said, she said kind of thing. Her filing goes on to describe an extended physical and verbal outburst in September 2016 as Mr. Pitt, Miss Jolie, and their 6 children flew from France to California. Pitt choked one of the children and struck another in the face, and grabbed Jolie by the head and shook her, the filing states, adding that at one point he poured beer on Jolie, at another he poured beer and red wine on the children. Federal authorities who have jurisdiction over flights investigated the incident but declined to bring criminal charges. Come on, man. Why does this keep happening? Why does that keep happening? Why do we keep believing these people? I'm sorry for the women that watch my channel, but they're always women. Why is it that it's always with Evan Rachel Wood and Marilyn Manson? They investigated it, but they never arrested him. With Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, they investigated it, but they didn't do anything. They went to the goddamn penthouse, and they didn't do anything because there was nothing wrong with her. And now with this, the feds, literally, the feds investigated it. Why does this keep happening? Why is it that we are now, I get it, you and I were in the court of public opinion. That's what I do here. We try to go with the court of public opinion. But if that is said on any story that you and I are on, if that right there is said, federal authorities who have jurisdiction over flights investigated the incident but declined to bring criminal charges. It's not like, oh, well, yeah, I'm a federal authority. And let me just tell you something, Brad Pitt, love that guy. I love him. Not even going to bother with prosecuting this case. Brad Pitt, great actor. I know what he did. He did something, but I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to prosecute him. I'm not going to get him a criminal. I'm not even going to arrest him. Don't worry about it, Brad. I got your back.
Brad Pitt. No, they're not like that, man. Why does everybody make this seem as if the people of authority are going to make an investigation of Marilyn Manson or of Brad Pitt and then they're not going to arrest him? Why? Because they're fans? Is that why? What the, like, honestly, I should stop reading. After that, I should stop reading. I'm so, and you can see it in my face. It's like, oh, Andrew, calm down. I'm tired of it, dude. I'm tired of reading that the feds or the authorities investigated these fucking charges and nothing ever happened. Nothing ever came of it. And we're still supposed to try and fight for these people and say that the man is in the right and there was nothing happened. We're still supposed to believe Angelina Jolie. Oh, because on Twitter, they always believe the woman. Oh. And I'll tell you right now, I really do. I want to stop reading and say, fuck it. That's it. If the authorities investigated and there was nothing there, they didn't arrest him, so we should just be done. But we're not going to be. I'm so tired of it, I swear. Days after the plane trip, Miss Jolie filed for divorce. Lawyers for Mr. Pitt did not immediately return several phone calls and emails seeking his response on Tuesday. In 2016, unnamed people close to Mr. Pitt were quoted in various publications saying that he had not been abusive towards his children. Well, there you go. Again, more people. See, and it's like, it's the exact same thing with Evan Rachel Wood and Marilyn Manson. Oh, well, we have 16 accusers over here. Well, but over here we have, there's only 4 people that said he didn't do it, but we're going to believe the 16 accusers. Dude, either the guy did it or he didn't. Whose word are you going to take? You're not going to take the federal authorities' word? What the fuck? The decoupling of Miss Jolie and Mr. Pitt has stretched on for years, drawn out by a court battle for custody of their children and more recently a lawsuit instigated by Mr. Pitt over the French winery Chateau Miraval that the couple bought more than a decade ago. Mr. Pitt's lawsuit filed this year accused his ex-wife of violating his contractual rights when she sold her half of the company to a subsidiary of Stoli Group without his approval. Miss Jolie's cross-complaint said she only sold her stake elsewhere after talks broke down over his demand for an NDA. Her filing states that the FBI agent who investigated allegations that Mr. Pitt physically assaulted Miss Jolie and their children on a plane in 2016 had concluded that the government had probable cause. What to charge? Probable cause, that's all you need to charge someone is probable cause. What are you fucking talking about? Concluded that the government had probable cause to charge Pitt with a federal crime for his conduct that day. So if they had probable cause, why didn't they do it? Is that what it's going to say next? Let's see. A redacted FBI report on the case, which was reported on by several news outlets in August and later obtained by the New York Times, states that the agent provided the U.S. Attorney's Office copies of probable cause statement related to his incident. After reviewing the document, representative of the United States Attorney's Office discussed the merits of this investigation with the case agent. The report said it was agreed by all parties that criminal charges in this case would not be pursued. Okay, and that's the end of the article. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for... Dude. So these people are feds, man. This is the highest you can get in the government, like the highest point of authority. Literally, these are feds, and you're not going to listen to them. So now we just have to take Twitter's word. Let's just take Twitter's word because Twitter always goes for the woman. Social media always goes for the woman. But yet it's right here in black and white that the feds had the case and didn't want to do anything with it. I just want to fucking scream. I am so tired of this, dude. You have no idea how tired I am reading that someone of authority had these cases and they decided not to do anything. I'm so tired of that. The FBI report described Miss Jolie as conflicted on whether or not to be supportive of charges. Well, what? There's that. Related to the case. Sign up for the... Okay, well, I don't know what that is. A spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney's Office in Los Angeles, Tom, Marsrek, whatever, declined to comment. A spokesperson for the FBI did not immediately return requests for comment. Yeah, you know those people aren't going to fucking answer. They're not going to answer the media's request for comment. They're going to be like, oh, who's calling? And then the assistant's like, oh, no, there's somebody from the media. No, I don't want to talk to those people. Tell them to fuck off. I'm not going to let them misquote me, and then they're going to put my name next to a quote, and then I'm going to get fired. No. Tell them to fuck off. That's how it goes with these people, because that's what the media does. The media will get a quote from you, and then they'll literally say something that you didn't even say. That's what they do.
She has gone to great lengths to try to shield their children from reliving the pain that Pitt inflicted on the family that day, Miss Jolie's lawyers wrote in the cross complaint. But when Pitt filed his lawsuit seeking to reassert control over Jolie's financial life and compel her to rejoin her ex-husband as a frozen-out business partner, Pitt forced Jolie to publicly defend herself on these issues for the first time. Well, that doesn't even make any sense. She's the one that sold her shares fine. Why are this never makes any sense when these people are talking from the person that's wrong. I'm telling you, I think Angelina Jolie was wrong for what she did. I think she could have done it so many other ways. And again, we have to go back to that because they're the feds. They said there was nothing wrong. They didn't charge him. So the goddamn story should be over. That's it. According to Miss Jolie's account of the 2016 fight in the court papers, the dispute began when Mr. Pitt accused Miss Jolie of being too deferential to their children and then began yelling at her in the bathroom. Pitt grabbed Jolie by the head and shook her and then grabbed her shoulders and shook her again. Grabbed her by the head and shook her? What? Now the shoulders thing I understand, but what do you mean grabbed her by the, what do you mean grab, what are you talking about? Grabbed her by the head? Grabbed her by, what are you talking about? Okay, now like I said, the shoulders one, okay, I can understand. You grab someone and you're like, whoa. But the head? I don't get that, but okay, whatever. Pitt grabbed Jolie by the head and shook her and then grabbed her shoulders and shook her again before pushing her into the bathroom wall. The filing states, Pitt then punched the ceiling of the plane numerous times, prompting Jolie to leave the bathroom. Okay, so you're saying he shook you and then he punched the ceiling. Okay, fine. It doesn't make any sense, but okay, fine, whatever you say. When one of the children came to Miss Jolie's defense, the court papers said Mr. Pitt lunged at the child, prompting her to grab him from behind. Amid the altercation, Mr. Pitt choked one of the children and struck another in the face, the suit said. Well, all those kids are kind of old, so I think you'd be able to talk to them again. So the investigation, like it said, I'm pretty sure the investigators talked to him. Wouldn't they have? The 2016 flight has been the subject of news media reports since shortly after it occurred. In November of that year, the FBI released a statement saying that it had closed the investigation. Then we shouldn't even be fucking reading about this. We shouldn't even be reading about this. If the FBI said it's closed, then nothing happened. What the fuck, man? Ugh. But then again, we're in the court of public opinion, and in the court of public opinion, well, at least on Twitter, the woman is always right because Amber Heard was the victim. Shut the fuck up. Puck News reported this August that Miss Jolie had been seeking information about the FBI's case as an anonymous plaintiff in a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit, with the publication including details of the report. It is unclear whether the heavily redacted FBI report included allegations that Mr. Pitt had choked or struck any of the children. In February, Mr. Pitt sued Miss Jolie and her former company, alleging that she violated his contractual expectations when she sold her interest to the wine company Tenute del Mondo, a subsidiary of Stoli Group. According to his lawsuit, the former couple had an understanding that neither party would sell its share of the winery without the consent of the other. If that was on paper, you're fucked. Angelina, you're fucked. The whole thing, remember with the Amber Heard case when we were doing the trial, and then that one dude came on, I believe it was the agent, and he literally said that after the op-ed came out, it was literally impossible to get Johnny Depp a movie. And that day I said, pack it up, the fucking case is over. Well, there it is right there. If it says in writing, now this doesn't say if it does, but if it says in writing that she was not allowed to do that without his consent, well, then she's fucked. Jolie pursued and then consummated the purported sale in secret, purposely keeping Pitt in the dark and knowingly violating Pitt's contractual rights, his lawsuit alleged. There you go. Last month, Miss Jolie's former company, which is now owned by Stoli Group, countersued Mr. Pitt, rebutting his version of events and his claim that the sale constituted a hostile takeover. In Miss Jolie's own countersuit filed in LA Superior Court on Tuesday, she said that she opted to sell her share of the wine business in part because she was growing uncomfortable with participating in an alcohol-related business. That's your excuse? Oh my God. That is your excuse? Really? Oh, well, it's alcohol. Oh, no, I can't do that. It's alcohol. Dude, I could understand if it was like a legal cannabis thing or some kind of anything else, but really because of alcohol? Fine. So stupid. Considering Mr. Pitt's acknowledged problem of alcohol abuse, Mr. Pitt told the Times in 2019 that after Miss Jolie filed for divorce, he spent time in AA and was committed to sobriety. Her filing said there was no written or verbal understanding like the one Mr. Pitt described, claiming that Mr. Pitt had in fact rejected the idea that there needed to be a plan in case the relationship ended. Well, yeah, like I said, if that's on paper, she's fucked. But that right there is saying there's no written or verbal understanding. So he's fucked now. Sorry, bro. Hey, Brad, if that's true, what it's saying, Brad Pitt, you fucked up. Sorry. In their lawsuits, Mr. Pitt and Miss Jolie shared divergent accounts of how negotiations around him buying her portion of the wine company fell apart. Mr. Pitt's lawsuit asserted that Miss Jolie pulled out of the tentative deal last year after a judge overseeing the custody dispute issued a ruling against her, propping... Okay, now, well, so the judge went against you, Angie, really? See, the twists and turns, man, twists and turns. Overseeing the custody dispute issued a ruling against her, prompting her to turn to the Stoli Group. Miss Jolie's countersuit claimed, however, that Mr. Pitt had been the one to pull out of the deal. So it is. It's he said, she said. It's literally one side is saying the same thing and the other side is saying the complete opposite, but the same thing. Fine. Are we going to get these two people in court after she declined to agree to his non-disparagement clause, forcing her to turn to another buyer? And that's the end of that. Okay, thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for staying with me this long. We will catch you next time.